Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, the science form started in 1962 with clear-cut objective of popular science and also to bring the latest development to the common public in science and technology through lectures, symposia and other things, particularly conducting Wednesday lectures, and since 40 years conducting month-long annual science festival. We are at 2775th lecture. The Yersa level is but ನಿಜವಾದ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ 2700 number reach ಆಗಬೇಕು. You can't reach it on the first day. It takes longer time. And such a lecture shortly is going to be delivered in minutes by famous Dr. K. Satish, chest physician and chief pulmonologist, Fortis and Vikram hospitals, on common respiratory problems in Bangalore. Today, on behalf of all our institutions and on behalf of you, and on behalf of me, I extend a very cordial welcome to Dr. K. Of course, is Bangalore-based, our own person, holds specialization in pulmonology and HIV medicine, an extraordinary combination of two vital streams in medicine. His 3-decade-long medical career substantiates for seniority and enormous experience Dr. Satish holds. 3 decades is not an easy thing. You are Jannata Pradokare, a gold medalist, has state award in his MBA examinations. Dr. Satish has successfully accomplished DNP and MRCP, membership of the Royal College of Physicians, qualifications too. He holds the distinction of being one of the first few fellows of British Thoracic Society UK. Dr. Satish is primarily attached to Chest and Maternity Center, Bangalore. He is also in charge of Pulmonology and HIV department at Fortis and Vikram hospitals, which are considered as premier institutions in Bangalore. At Chest and Maternity Center, Dr. Satish is managing the chest department, while maternity being attached to the clinic looked after by his wife, Dr. G. Satish, who is an experienced obstetrician and gynecologist by profession. Dr. Satish serves as principal investigator to almost 15 clinical trials conducted at the global level. Clinical trials is so difficult. And he also has close involvement in clinical institutions like NIMAS and Jawaharlal Institute of Advanced Studies. Both of them are institutions of national importance. NIMAS and Dakshane, Nan Mansir Dr. Satish Chandra, our own student, who are director and also former vice chancellor. Also, according to the first pamphlet, his lecture was tomorrow actually, Friday. But I also problem there because Nale, a lecture Rodila, will have film show on science subject, which was on Sunday. Sunday, the night after the day, we are requested Satish Chandra to deliver his lecture on epilepsy and law. We are allowed to go there without any confusion. Film show, lecture, subject is always guaranteed. But snacks are also guaranteed. We are back to snack off. Because I believe snacks are very important, you know. You can put down like a sound from this, like that. I think coffee, your mind starts working, you know. Of course, you don't have to do it. I'll change that, really not that change. Dr. Satish is a renowned speaker in national conferences focused on chest diseases and HIV. He has undertaken a large number of CMD programs with a total figure reaching close to 100. Because cricket can start with that. 100 is important in cricket. Here also is important. His active participation in national and international conferences keeps him up to date with the latest medical updates. He has interesting work. He has starred in many television interviews, which providing a platform to create awareness among masses. After television interviews go to that. Dr. Satish is fully engaged in charitable and social activities. He is also an honorary consultant for HIV, trustee and treasurer at Samraksha, an NGO treating HIV patients. He runs a free clinic for chest. Now a free clinic run student, Dr. C, the urologist. Our friend, a real friend, also in the south of country, also the teaching. They are dominated philosophy and other things. And HIV every Thursday at some class they offer a clinic also where patients coming from a weak economic background are consulted and provided medications free of cost. And we are happy we got such a person here. And then you have the lecture argument. Now an important lecture is there. Dr. Subrat Raju, Professor International Center for Theoretical Science, he is going to speak on black holes and quantum information. Then on the 14th we will have Friday film show. 15th, one more important lecture. Dr. G. Padmanabhan, former Director in Institute of Science, will speak on curcumin from turmeric, a wonder drug in making. G. Padmanabhan, Director, first biotechnologist of India, not an ordinary person. He has given us 20 to 12 lectures. The latest technology is catching all Ayurvedic things and trying to find validation. That's what TDU was started. Transdisciplinary unit from San Victoria. It is in Africa. Already some 5 grown plants identified from this area. And the turmeric is very important. Few scientists will not know. Topic 1. Curcumin from turmeric. A 100 drug in waiting. In Australia, there was lectures in Chinese. Her age is 87. She got Nobel Prize medicine for physiology. Margaret Cassandra, herbal in 1960, malaria or eradicated in China. That's beautiful track. And he gave a 100 drug in waiting. American hospitals. But after 70 years, Nobel Committee saw that there was some scientific thing there. They gave me a Nobel Prize for physiology and medicine. Lecture is today. And such a beautiful lecture there from G. Vikram. Then on Sunday, Satish and law. Please come for all the lectures. Apart from that, you first time worked on a media for this hall is a completely AC controlled hall and 200 economic space. Apart from it, has got an IP address. IP address means if you have IP address elsewhere at Melbourne or San Francisco, they can straight away take this lecture right now. And it's being covered through live stream in Facebook and also on YouTube. And this science lecture, science festival lecture started like this. Maybe one day, Dr. Narasimha took me. He was my teacher. Age difference is 25 years. We were evening newspaper program at City Institute, famous. At about 7:30 in the night, suddenly he told me, AHR, he used to call me AHR. There is a Ganesha festival, there is a Sankranti festival, there is a music festival, so many festivals in our country. Then I asked him, why? What is the problem? Then he told me, no, one festival you are missing. Then he told me, why not start science festival? I believe in 1978, Narasimha got this idea. So, being a younger person, next question from my side is, they know how to conduct the festival, Ganesh and other things. How do you conduct science festival? He immediately talked to me and told me, how will I conduct music festival? They call some 5 musicians, ask them to sing. Like that, we can call some 5 scientists, ask them to give a lecture. That is the science festival. He started 15 people, at that point of time, 1978. It was a success and a different was there to fix them. And then suddenly he said that, why not double that number in 79? Because Narasimha always finds some sort of opportunity in text, SWOT analysis. He said, why not we conduct 30 lectures in 1979? We did it. And in his mind, I almost stopped it there. Suddenly he said, in 80, why not we do one more? Like that, 85, 90, 100, 2017. I think we'll go to 3017 also. There's no problem. Then all does the operation for a while. And actually, July 1st to July 31st is fixed, year is not fixed. 40 years ago. In Wednesday is fixed. Not the date, not the month, not the year. Just imagine 1962 and today you are 2007, we are not let out a single Wednesday. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ನಾಸ್ಟಾಲಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು 4:30 ಹಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಮೈ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ 3-4 hours ಅಂತ ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ವೆ ಇನ್ 80-81 ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇ ಈ ಹಾಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನೇ ಸ್ಟೇ ಓವರ್ 7 years back in a room somewhere myself and SMA are waiting and N.S. Ramaswamy lecture was there famous N.S. Ramaswamy chairman of the management he started private national management his lecture was there he came even though they were there totally 3 persons one speaker myself and SMA audience just managing but today it has not happened like that the rain stop we are all here that also indicates the popularity of Dr. Satish and also the way in which the Dr. Satish form is going on. With this introduction, I request Dr. Satish.
Thank you so much, Professor Ramra, and what a nice introduction. Not about me, about the science forum. And, yeah, and it was an occasion that I was waiting for, and very nostalgic memory when I came here. One was I came here in 1974 to take part in an orientation course just before I began my PhD. And of course, meeting Professor Ramrao, and then also seeing in the last stages of and also many students who have passed out from here, and such a history that that I got information from Ramrao regarding the science forum, the every Wednesday program, and the participants who come here, and then. Like what he said, he always gives everyone a nice snack, and which I also had, and then start, this program. What a way to start! What a way to do all this. I remember when I recently, just about a month back, went to see the famous Swamiji, Siddhanta Swamiji, 110 years old. He was not well, and then he was not well. He was hardly able to speak, but he still kept on saying Prasad. So we initially didn't understand which he wanted me to have breakfast and then come and see him, like what Professor Ramra was doing. And thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity that I have today to speak to you on a topic which was chosen by both of us consensually, mainly because it's a burning problem all over the world. It's a problem you saw last week. All the great leaders meeting in Paris, and all of us have to think about what we have done to Bangalore, what we have done in general about pollution and so many things that all of us encounter, and all of us have a responsibility today, especially at this juncture. We are at crossroads. We don't know where we are going, how the Bangalore is going. We were just talking about about the metro that runs through nicely, and the traffic that we all spend. I will be speaking about it, what Bangalore is facing about. So my topic will be on, as I said, on respiratory common problems that we all encounter in Bangalore. And also, mainly I will focus on what is burning Bangalore and what all of us have to do to improve this even at this point of time, and all of us can definitely play an important role. So it will be, the topics will be urbanization and its effects, indoor and outdoor air pollution. Many of us know about outdoor pollution, but indoor pollution in India and some of these Southeast Asia and in China is a huge problem. Huge problem. Many of us do not know about it. The effects of air pollution and respiratory health. How this air pollution affects all of us. Who are in Bangalore. And some of the infections, which I'm not going to say in detail, but I'm going to talk about some of the recent infections, like for example H1N1 influenza and so on, which we can do something. And of course, India is a home to 1/3 of TB population, so we have to know something about TB and where we can do, how we can eradicate. TB, is it possible to eradicate? These are some of the topics that I'm going to speak. And there are non-infectious respiratory problems, allergic rhinitis, asthma, COPD, OSA, all these. These are very pertinent and relevant. I was giving a talk this last week in the American College of Physician. And saying that Bangalore is well known for Garden City and the Garden City, now Silicon City, also known for various other historic monuments that possess present in Bangalore, but also now called as the asthma city, very sadly. And people who come from outside want to check here, come here, sir, I believe there is an asthma problem here, allergic problem. Can we come here? Can we live here? Also, this used to be called as the pensioner's paradise. Such good names that Bangalore had. And unfortunately, when somebody comes and asks, this is supposed to be an asthma city, easy to do. But, I say sadly so, but, that is the real picture. So let's move on. These are basic necessities of life, all of us know, the food, water, and air. And all these are important, as all of us know. Food is so important, malnutrition is such a big problem, starvation is such a problem all over the world, and providing food. And the water, all of us know about it, how we are fighting for water, how we are wasting water, how we are not conserving water. Again, all of us have an important role in the future. If we don't conserve water, I think it's going to be a big, huge disaster that is facing all of us. So we have to be careful. And then the air that all of us breathe every day is also very important. So let me leave these two to some other day, and then let me focus on air. And these are very important as a doctor, because the food. There is some talk about obesity here. I'm talking about respiratory problems, and of course the water is an important necessities. So oxygen, which is such an important thing. So all of us say, when somebody having difficulty breathing, oxygen, get some oxygen, give some oxygen. Is oxygen, he has, no oxygen. So we always talk about oxygen. There is oxygen that. So I got some oxygen from somebody. This is a common term, and such an important term that it is, misused many a time. Provides us with 90% of our nutritional energy. Many of us know, that oxygen, is important, but it provides 90% of nutritional energy, with just 10% coming from food that we consume. Provides energy, and these are some basics which all of us have learned from professors like Ramrao. Oxygen through mitochondria, ATP and water, glucose 2 ATPase, adenosine triphosphatase, glucose with oxygen 36, and then the fat with oxygen 130. These are all how the energies are produced by the mere presence of oxygen. So oxygen ultimately is so important, especially for somebody like me who is practicing in chest medicine. So first thing that I carry, I always in my pocket is the pulse oximeter, which will check oxygen, how much is it. It's there all the time with me, except probably when I'm sleeping. Now, what are the main sources of oxygen? This is important because what we are talking about, what has happened to Bangalore, what has happened in general to this whole world, is important if we concentrate on these slides. So 330 billions of oxygen per year, green algae and cyanobacteria together produce 70% of the world's oxygen. So we are talking about the lakes being dry and the rivers being dry and so on. We are talking about it is simply because of this aspect that it's such an important thing. And 30% of the world remaining oxygen comes from here. And we are talking about deforestation. We are talking about Bangalore used to have so much greenery all over, and then people are trying to take over Lal Bagh and remaining parts of Kaban Park, and where are we left with? We are left with absolutely no trees, and now there is some kind of a movement which is taking place, like for water, conserving water, also planting trees, which is such a wonderful thing. But where are the places to plant these trees which require some shade, which require some kind of a nutrition, some kind of an environment? All these areas were full of trees, and the big trees are being cut down. And how do we get oxygen then? We are talking about oxygen, we are talking about pollution, but where do we get, if we don't have, plants and trees and so on? This is a very simple diagram which all of us know, and starting from school, we've done, 100 liters of air pumped into our lungs, and 100 liters of that every day is taken out, and there's a thin membrane called alveolar membrane which transfers oxygen, and 1,500 liters in blood per day, and 400 liters used at rest of the day. So this is just to say that how important it is to have oxygen delivered, and this is by a simple means, oxygen through the alveolar membrane, and then is taken up by hemoglobin and then transported. These are very basic, just to touch on some basic science. Oxygen transports, all of us know, such an important thing which occurs in the body. 25 trillion RBCs in the human body, and transport oxygen. So it's such a complex problem, such a complex system, but so beautifully done by the nature and system that it's all done automatically. And if anybody has noticed any kind of breathlessness, I'm sure you will all know how we gasp for breath. Just running 100 meters, you will stop and then again take a big breath, oh, I'm breathless. And imagine somebody not running 100 meters, sitting and saying, I'm having breathlessness. I see all the time patients with breathlessness. They have respiratory symptoms, only to come and see me. If they have respiratory system only, I can see them. All of them have. And it's increasing every year that I've been seen and been in Bangalore. And patients come and tell me, sir, we used to give some simple medicine and it used to work wonders. And look at me now, you've given so many medicines and none of these is working. Very true. I hold their hand and and sympathize with them and explain to them what has happened. Nothing has happened to Dr. Satish. Medicine is his experience, but something that all of us have destroyed, and that is causing this problem. And when I explain to them, because my job is not just giving medicine, but also to tell them about environment, tell them about hygiene, tell them about policies. That every day I speak to each one of our patients, telling them that not only the government, we also have to do something. Today morning, same thing I was telling to several patients about it, and that's my job, because my associates take care of everything else. Now, regarding the pollution quickly, there are types of air pollutants which are in gaseous form: carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, nitrogen peroxide, sulfur dioxide, and ozone. We all know, we all have heard about it. And particulate matters in the air. These are also very important. PM10, PM2.5, PM1, nanoparticles. If you pass by the railway station, there is a red, board which runs through like what is the particulate matter today in Bangalore and every TV news also at the end talks about, especially in Delhi, and making us aware that we must not stop after the news is over, that there is some things that all of us have to learn. Also, there used to be about polar calendar from Bangalore, which year, which months of the year the pollen is very hard to take care of it. The botany unit of Bangalore University used to do, and I am associated as an Indian Academy of Allergy past president through that. India is the most polluted country in the world, and somebody corrected saying also corrupt country in the world. So I said these go together. Okay, you said it right, but these go together. Why are we polluted country in the world? Because there is corruption. You can think about what's happening to our garbage system, which everyone says, the scientists here, say it can be fixed very easily, sir. But why is that not fixed? Why are we seeing dengue? We are not supposed to see dengue. And I was, I was hearing this, one of my friends, small baby, born just 3 days old, in a private hospital got dengue. So you can imagine, this public health and public programs have completely failed. And so aptly polluted city, corrupted city, whatever you want to say, which I am not proud of, saying that Bangalore is polluted, Bangalore is such and such, but it is true. And 13 out of 20 most polluted cities in the world are in India. And look at this, the purple, and here, you may not be able to see. So these are the most polluted, places and nations in the world, and out of this 13 out of 20 are in India. And Delhi, most polluted urban city in the world. So, jokingly many a time, my patients, because as you know, I'm sitting in Bangalore, I see patients from all over, especially in Bangalore. First I start with English in Kannada, and then I'll speak to them because they are from Tripura, from everywhere. Bangaloreans are such good people that we accept and take everyone, in our side. So similarly, when they say, sir, I am going to Delhi, so I say there are 2 dangers in Delhi. One is this pollution, and jokingly I will say that it is a harm. So both of us have a nice laugh and then you said that. But what did they do also? They did alternate day, odd and even, all kinds of things were done, but nothing could be fixed. And I have seen myself going to several meetings. I am sure all of you have experienced what's happening to pollution in Delhi. It is, completely annoying, disturbing. You can't breathe. And Carlton, last year, one of the cricket matches was postponed or cancelled because the players were not able to breathe in the morning. So such is the condition there, and which we are not proud, and we are all responsible for it. And also, and of course, about Delhi smog and PM 2.5 level went up to dangerous level. There was a red signal about the Delhi. Many were sick, and there is an increase of air purifier sales in Delhi by almost 40-50%. 10-15 years back, when patients came and asked me, sir, can we buy an air purifier and keep? I didn't have an answer. I used to say, not good day. I don't want you to spend some 40,000-50,000 buying something which may not be useful. Now I tell them, if somebody is asking, I don't tell them. We have studies from Beijing, we have studies from Delhi. It's supposed to help, this pollutants. Also, small places like Hassan, Davangere are also very polluted. I was surprised that when the report came that places like Davangere, places like Hassan are also polluted in Bangalore. An estimated, as 8 million people die every year due to harmful effects of air pollution. Among these, 4.3 million deaths are due to indoor air pollution. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? And we talk about many a time, people dying in war. This is war. Without using ammunitions, nuclear bomb, without having army or anybody fighting. This is war. This is death. The calamities are here and there. And when somebody dies in in North Karnataka, when somebody said, we make so much noise on the TV and the media, but look at this figure, very disturbing. And I am seeing this. That's why I can tell you emotionally that I am seeing this happening in front of me. As I started practice, when I came back from England from 1990s to now, the number of diseases due to air pollution has gone up, not 100, by 500 to 1,000 folds, and that is very disturbing. And these are the diseases: lung cancer, pneumonia, 30,000 stroke, heart disease, and COPD, and so on. Indoor pollution, again, remember I will be touching on that later. If you travel by, this is a study done in Mumbai, which is the safest mode of transport. Safety limit 50 micrograms per m square. Bus 502, non-AC car 310, local train 156, AC car 69. So that's the mode of transport which can be little safer. I'll be touching more upon this data. Now, when do we expect this kind of an exposure? At birth. Look at the studies done showing in the placenta, before the baby is born, already there are pollutants inhaled by the mother which cross the placental barrier, and before birth itself you are exposed to the pollutants. And how many pollutants? 287 pollutants, chemicals, pesticides identified in the umbilical cord in the blood, and which has some very poisonous like lead, mercury, fluorochemicals, and other biochemicals. So this is also very disturbing, Before the baby is born, already the baby is exposed to all these toxic, chemicals. This is really disturbing. Most of these came from indoor, sources. Now, these are some of the congenital abnormalities noticed in those who are exposed to cleft palate and exposed to carbon monoxide, PM exposure, and so on. These are studies in India. And this is another thing: residential proximity to the main roads during pregnancy and risk of asthma, subsequently. 50 meters versus 200 meters. There was a significant difference. Those who are exposed to more pollutants and later develop in pregnancy, later develop asthma. There are studies in Bangalore itself. School children who are exposed to traffic and schools which are away from traffic, how many of them have asthma, allergy, and respiratory problems. These are studies done by my friend, the Chest Research Foundation. You can see here. We used to work together in England. Satish, he has done some fantastic studies, all epidemiological studies. I borrowed some of his slides. We worked on the same floor at Southampton General. He worked with Professor Colgate, famous man. And biomass smoke exposure and risk of global COPD. And all of us almost forgot about all this, and then we were only asking about smoking. Then I realized that there are 40% of women and children who have this problem without smoking. They behave like smokers. Of course, there are various reasons. Passive smoking, for example, is another reason. And this is the type of exposure that can have 2 to 6 hours of exposure per day of 2 crores 50 lakh liters of highly polluted air during their lifetime. This is the highly polluted air and most likely ill ventilated. And look at their faces, look at the problem that children who are exposed, sitting there, many of them do their homework, sitting in this kind of ill ventilated, smoky places. That led to such severe exposure and led to also these famous papers, I'm sure many of you have read, about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease in non-smokers. Lancet, again, Satish and Professor Peter Barnes, well-known scientist from UK, from London, and saying that these are common, especially with biomass fuel. So I had smoker as soon as they come after the DMAs and so on. First thing I start with smoker, non-smoker, ex-smoker. Now biomass fuel I've added as the into my protocol. And And all kinds of things are exposed in this biomass soil and leading to formaldehyde. Various chemical toxins which are very toxic to the lung. So also about infections, pneumonia deaths and prevalence in children. 120 million children under 5 suffer from pneumonia. 8 million require out of this hospitalization. 1.1 million children die every year. 50% of childhood pneumonia deaths are attributed to household air pollution from burning biomass. Direct costs, indirect costs, and also you can imagine parents who have to care for these children. They lose their wages, they can't work for next 1 month, and what a loss to this country who do this, which is all preventable. That's what I'm saying. Pollution is the reason for all this. And look at this map for India, Pakistan, and other places. That's the tragedy. Children suffering from pneumonia exposure. This is another thing that all of us was a fancy to use this mosquito coil. Of course now it's being used very sparingly, but look at this usage still. None of us may be used by 2 billion people across the globe, and 12 billion coils sold every year. And burning one mosquito coil produces as much amount of PM, that is particulate matter 2.2, that is produced by 100 cigarettes. So smoking 100 cigarettes all night, somebody is exposed to it. Burning one mosquito coil produces as much amount of hydrocarbon that is produced by 50 cigarettes. And look at what it contains: pyrethroids and coal dust, coconut husk, dye dust, resins, and so on, which during that 6 to 7 hours of night exposed to heavy polluted air. And similarly, the studies were done with the field and showing that whole night they were exposed to very toxic fumes, which led to a lot of respiratory problems. All these are dangerous. All these are dangerous. Including these, even though I use it because of practicality, especially this people say, sir, I use this, I also use this, but these are all not good at all. Not good. What is good is our good old, this one. This none of us have now. Nobody has. Nobody wants to do it. And similarly, all our grandmas and grandmothers used to put all our bedsheet, pillow covers, beds outside to dry it in the air. Probably they didn't know, or they knew, to kill the dust mites. None, I don't see at all now. Any hanging, beds and bed covers outside in the sunlight, and that leads to, severe dust mite population that causes severe asthma and allergy. And what about these two? Not so common in South India, but in North India, very common. I'm sure there are many North Indians. This is very dangerous, this loop. One loop is like 100 cigarettes. One loop is like 100 cigarettes. And I'll show you some interesting thing in the loop sticks. With window open and window closed. When you close the window, the more pollutants gather inside your room. And this is another thing. All the famous priests in Bangalore are my patients. All of them. I get their blessings, I get prasadam, and I also have to look after them from Tirupati to everywhere. This is very true. Very true, because it's all ventilated. And they are exposed from childhood days. It's such a sacrifice that they do from childhood days till 12 hours, 14 hours of exposure. And these were one of the studies done by my friend from Chest Research Foundation, showing that 25% of temple priests in that study showed evidence that airway obstruction and non-smokers. I've seen myself in my practice here. And this one, all of it, no vote. It's such a politics last year about to ban, not to ban. This is a religious kind of thing. Why not during that time? Why not during this time? Why not during Hindu festival? All kinds of crap was going on, and that was all. And how much pollution? 1,000 times during that month, during Diwali festival. 1,000 times pollution. And I always tell my associates, please don't take leave during this festival time, because I see so many of them coming with severe I'm not talking about injuries, which the eye specialist and others have to deal with, but we see a lot of acute exacerbation of ICU admission and more sickness, and then we are all available during that time. And this is the result of this. And we must do something about it, all of us, and see the effects are due to all these kind of, the crackers, the Lakshmi factory that we all know, and all these chemicals. There's so much of pollution. And these are the snake tablet, the snake, this one, very high. And then lead, Kulzadi, Chakrana, these are North Indian names for all this, these are all there. As you see, Lakshmi factory, which we all know. Heavy pollution, all this, and also can cause heart blocks and heart attacks due to PM10, being in the blood. And relative risk of sudden heart attack in general are about the crackers, smoking, gas, and there are physical activity, diabetes, anger, high cholesterol. Spending 1 hour of traffic, very interesting. And most people going from in Bangalore to the Sajapur Road, the Whitefield area, easily 1 hour. And then we asked them about, I started asking about it mainly for school children. When do you leave the school? Today morning also I was asking one child, 5-year-old, how far is your school? And then this girl was saying, I go by van, come back by auto, probably auto by. And how much time do you spend? 30 to 45 minutes, she said, or some 15 minutes or so, the distance which is really there. And that can lead to a lot of problems and leading to heart problems. So spending, that's all because of pollution. Again, obesity also linked to exposure to air pollution. This is also for me a surprise and very well known obesity. And what do these plants do? They help so much to absorb all kinds of toxins and chemicals from all that we abuse in our environment. That's why they important. Not only they give oxygen, but also absorb all kinds of toxins, carbon dioxide and so on, and give out oxygen. That's why I think we must take pride in saying that we will plant and do only that to get the glory back in Bangalore, whatever Bangalore is lost. And these are affected population due to air pollution. As I said, nobody takes notice of it because it doesn't happen immediately. It doesn't happen immediately that when you are exposed to pollution, nobody has symptoms on first day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and then only this happens. That's why you see 8 million deaths due to pollution, indoor and outdoor. And this is what I was saying, symptoms, decline in lung function, increased use in medication. Sir, you used to give very simple inhalers. Now nothing works, nothing works. They still come because of the faith that they have. And I have to really explain to them why they are not better, why they are breathing harder, why they are breathless, why they are choking, why they have recurrent admission to the hospital. Is all because of pollution. And the hospital visits, each one costing more, emergency room visit, whether it's government or private, cost is same because we are all contributing to the government, in terms of our taxes and so on. The other effects are ischemic heart disease, cerebrovascular disease, COPD, which I spoke to you, and other lung cancer, lower respiratory infection. All this also simply because the respiratory system is directly exposed to the environment. When you breathe, the air goes into your lung. So you are directly exposed into the environment. The quality of air determines, how your health condition is. And look at the COPD and asthma. COPD is basically chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, generally used for smokers. As similar symptoms, but asthma is non-smokers, and COPD leads to a lot of complications. Treatment is not very good. Ultimately, they become dependent on oxygen. That's COPD in smokers. Now look at this study done by Professor K.J.R. Murthy from Hyderabad, who is known to be very well. He is no more. And he did, as a burden of disease in India background paper, 2006-2016, an increase of, asthma 28 million to 35, which is 25% increase. 17 million to 22 million, increase is horrendous. And look at the cost involved, to treat and look after all these patients, so many millions of people. Their direct cost, the indirect cost, the wages lost, the production lost. Any country progressive country like ours must speak about direct costs and indirect costs. Indirect costs are these, that if I am not able to perform, if I am not able to do my duties for next 1 week, it's a loss to the community, to the country, to the state, whatever it is. That's one. Beautiful picture. Look at this Avenue Road. I think taken in early 1990s or something. Yeah, fantastic. And look at also the other things that you concentrate, not just this, the trees, and there's also a donkey here, and people, very simple people walking around, absolutely no tension, no hurry, nobody walking with stress on their face. You see anybody stop at the traffic signal and see everybody, none of them smile. None of them smile, they have lost their smile. They are in a hurry to reach their destiny and go to their place, and start working. Look at that, and look at this, all these advertisements, all these people. There is absolutely no space here, and look at the space here. And tragic, we lost all this Avenue Road in Bangalore. And this is the familiar side. All of us have seen, and amount of exposure to pollution and the stress, road rage, all that is because of this. You can't get bumper to bumper traffic, and then all the not the TVs, the Radio City, and all this, keep giving, this block, you take the other one, everywhere it is same. You can't go anywhere, everywhere it is same. Look at this, and you can imagine the stress that one can have. If you look at the vehicle statistic, this I got it, for one of my other talk, and an increase in two-wheeler, highest two-wheelers in Asia, probably now in the world, is in Bangalore, highest two-wheeler, which also indirectly tells us that the public transport is so poor and so difficult, and that's why we were saying about pollution and corruption. I think it is a good added. Cars, everyone has 2 car, 3 car, autos and other vehicles, 4-wheelers and so on. And this is August 2014 statistic. From 1980, within this time, 25 years, a leap of 47, 50%. This is from the department. And the vehicles are, nobody knows about the emission checks and so on, very ill managed. And this is what happened you saw in Delhi, that they replaced completely, and it was very late. And look at Bangalore here, vehicles in all major cities, Bangalore, higher than, I think Delhi comes first, and then the Bangalore, and then the others, here. So this has led to this, and this is very famous. All of you know about it. It became world famous. Everyone, talked about it, and everyone said, somebody has woken up, somebody is doing something, still don't know. I think the court had to intervene and say that, you guys in Bangalore, what are you doing? And then this is Vilandu Lake, Carl, I'm sure, this will touch all of us, saying, how many lakes have dried, how many lakes have gone, and then no longer this will become, a common sight everywhere. Air quality of Bangalore, gone. Look at this, PM10. We are breathing very toxic, poisonous, air here. And imagine what's happening in Delhi, which if I'm saying this, what's happening in and climate change is also in 1990 to 2000. You see, there's also been a change in temperature. We are not used to. We never had fans in our childhood. I'm sure all of you seniors here will know that nobody had fan, nobody knew fan, nobody knew TV, and I cycled from my place to MES college. All this has gone, temperature changes and so on and so forth. So what does it do? Shorter life, this pollution causes all these effects: stroke, autism, asthma, lung cancer, reduced lung function, and so on and so forth. My famous, the words used, sentence used by my patients is, I was sleeping and I started coughing, then I knew that I reached Bangalore. And I'm near either, Basul or somewhere, I can know that I was fast asleep and suddenly I started coughing, then I knew I reached Bangalore. That is the state that we are in. Very sadly, all this thing about depression, Alzheimer's, learning disability, and many a time, school performance, all this goes down because of that, Look at the lungs. Every day I see a young man coming and saying, sir, I'm bringing out black sputum, and he's worried about whether it is blood or what it is. It's a common problem, which means you are in Bangalore. I'm sure you are from Bangalore. Then they'll say, yes sir, I'm from Bangalore. So this is Bangalore soup, this is Bangalore tar, this is Bangalore pollution. So don't worry, you are young, as long as you are not smoking and then complicating it further, you don't require X-ray, you don't require anything, go, it will keep coming, and then I don't know when it will stop. This is a common problem that I see. I don't even do testing. If they are smoking only, I try to see when this is because of this. And I've seen many postmortem lungs, who are looking like this, chronic bronchitis, asthma, emphysema, lung cancer. This is a non-smoker. Exposed to 2,500, chemicals. Allergic rhinitis, the sneezing, cold, which is a common problem. Such a common problem that, in Bangalore people, just forget to go and see anyone. Because this is a common problem. I have this perpetual cold, it doesn't go. So no point seeing doctors, but it affects children, their school performance, their focus, their attention, their memory power, their school performance. The allergic rhinitis is a common problem that we see. And treatment is of course various things, which I don't want, allergen avoidance and so on, and then passive smoking. That's also very important. These are some of the modalities that we use, like inhaled medications. And asthma, this is asthmatic airway, this is a normal airway, and that's because there is a direct connection between them. So if you see here, most of the time I am talking to patients about this rather than medication. Why you have asthma, why you don't have asthma is the reason, and only talking about no carpets in the room, bedsheet pillow cover getting cleaned, twice clean, hot water, no blanket, use cotton quilt, no teddy bear, no soft touch, and no smoking, passive smoking, no dope, no agarbatti, no mosquito coil, all these, like a parrot. Every day, all 50, 100 patients, same thing also told to them to reduce the amount. You cannot completely eliminate it, but reduce the burden that one can do, and of course diet and so on. And look at this, only environmental factors. So this is not a preventable kind of diseases which we are spending so much money and so on. Also it affects the heart, not just the lung, air pollution, cardiopulmonary disease, proven, and as I showed you also the risk of sudden heart attacks. And these are some of the asthma triggers, cockroach, chemical, pets. 20% of Bangaloreans are allergic to cockroaches. There are molds, eel, dam. And this is one of the studies done in Bangalore, ISAC study, very famous study, showing that Bangalore has, school children, 30%, which means every third child, you ask every third child that you have cough and wheezing or chest tightness or phlegm, every third child will say yes. And that's the state of our, and it has increased from, it used to be 2% and it is now 30% of school-going children in Bangalore have allergy and asthma. 300 million people suffering from asthma, such a common problem, and don't want to go into the details of this. Asthma management, trigger identification, and then of course we give medication to improve it. We have a stepwise treatment, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, we go on in here. Medications are excellent, very good medications available. Also India is famous for alternate system of medicine. Some of them opt for alternate system of medicine, including Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha, Unani, Tibetan, fish medicine, all kinds of treatment. I'm very open and tell them whichever foods you use it, but get it checked whether you are doing the right kind of thing, because some of them may do very well. Avoidance of smoke, etc. etc. are important, and also various occupational lung diseases are also common in Bangalore. And these are noted. Smoking is another very big and huge problem, and many a time you are caught off guard. I had a patient who I kept on asking, "I'm sure you are a smoker." "No, sir, I have never smoked. I have never touched." So I said, "Why is he depending? Why is he behaving like a smoker? Lung disease where he requires oxygen, not responding." And then I didn't have an answer. He was admitted. He was in ICU. Then he came to the ward, and then I had a time to chat with him. In ICU many times you don't get. I said, "What do you do?" "Sir, I'm a businessman." "Okay. Now, what kind of business?" He said he was doing some rubber factory or something. Then what happens? Simply I just kept on talking, not trying to find out whether he was doing something. Then he said, "Sir, after 5 o'clock I'm free. Then I go to bowling club." Then I said, "Okay, so what do you do in bowling club?" "Sir, my friends and me for the last 25 years or so play cards." "Okay, now I'm getting curious." I said, "How many of them smoke there?" "Sir, everyone smokes except me." Everyone is smoking, and this poor chap is inhaling every day for 25 years, religiously playing cards, and this guy is the one who is oxygen dependent. Others are all fine and so that's the passive smoking. That's why you see so many advertisements that you see now, saying that please tell someone who is smoking near you, please don't smoke, in front of me. And I'm very allergic. Whatever you want to say, sometimes very difficult because these are youngsters and they can be abusive. But you tell them politely, please don't smoke. And I have allergy, I have asthma, something like that. I always tell them because sometimes it can be very difficult. But please exercise your duties and rights because it is punishable by law. Okay. Look at this smoke. This is very common. All kinds of smoking. Including hookah. Hookah is now, hookah bars are all there because there is a license that you can have hookah bars. And then I saw myself, in Chandralawar, there is a place where there is a gym and also a hookah bar on top. And when people go there, you see school, little older children or maybe college going students, they are all lined up in the morning. What are they doing? They are addicted. So they do the hookah and then go to school or college. That is the status that that we are in. And these are shown very well that smoke observed in locations in Karnataka, Bangalore rural, and then smoking and passive smoking causing so much. And smoking in women disturbingly has increased. And many a time, we take it for granted, this lady may not be smoking, and that's the one which will give you a surprise saying, "Yes sir, I smoke and I smoke too." And some of them actually say, no, I smoke only imported, very expensive. I smoke. All are same as weed, same, all these 555, same as whatever. Smoke is injurious and poisonous. Poison is a poison. 1 cigarette also is poisonous, 100 cigarettes also is poisonous. And every day I eat. And then I used to do a smoke quit clinic, Professor Ramram. So I came back with this idea of doing smoke quit clinic, and then yes. And then I started, there were calls which came, I was very happy saying, so everyone's question was, how much do you charge? So I said, I don't charge, it's free. I want to do some service because I don't want to see you guys in ICU, that's why it's free. Then something happened, nobody came. And then, only one patient came who was going from Dubai to Bangalore, I remember very well. And then he came with his wife, she saw the advertisement in the paper, there is somebody who is doing, let us go and see. They stopped and came, and then that is the only patient I saw in the smoke quit clinic. And then I asked my friends, why are they not coming? And they told me, Satish, when they ask you, you say 5,000 rupees, you say you have to come in an empty stomach, stay whole day, do unnecessary chest x-ray, blood test, all this, they like it. And then say your charge is 1,000 rupees, then they will come. Otherwise, tamasha, who will do? Nowadays free. Nobody will do. So that was the end of my quit smoke clinic. But I started doing individually. Every day I spend, if somebody is a smoker, I tell them this is how you should quit smoking, this is what we have. And this is how we help you. We will never tell you, all of us in the group, that don't come again till you quit smoking. That chap is wanting to quit smoking but is unable to. So we have to help him. We have to sympathize with him. And 70% of the smokers want to quit smoking. I keep asking every day, this is my job. When did you go to the movie last? And today somebody was saying that 1 month back. I said, how many times do they show you about the effects of smoking? How many times have you observed during the interval before the movie starts? They show you horrible cancers and all this. Why is this there? Because you should see and then not get into this kind of a situation. And that leads to smoking, leads to COPD. Horrible, irreversible disease, and which we see, and many of them, on oxygen. This is the oxygen, and that's what happens. And respiratory infections in metro have gone alarmingly high, 300% from, this is a study from Delhi and showing this. And these are polluting vehicles, lack of tree cover, traffic congestion, and vacant site, indoor pollution, all this, lead to the COPD which I said. So that's about pollution and COPD. Let's see about some of these flu that all of you have heard. I'm sure all of you know about H1N1 and swine flu and so on, which started. The first, I must say that the first patient of swine flu who died was my patient, and I'm not very happy or proudly saying, but what happened that time was something, that I must, remember, because nobody knew how to treat. He died and we were all exposed, and the hospital said, Dr. Satish, don't work for 1 week. First time in my life somebody said, don't work, don't come back. I said, why, what happened? At home, children were all, Papa, they were in school. Why you have to be in your room? Why you can't come out? No, the people have said, from authorities that, I may be carrying the virus and spread the virus, and it may be harmful and dangerous. And then, within no time, those who were exposed from ward boys to nurses to doctors to everyone, and somebody came, sir, I have a small child, sir, I go to the library, my grandmother's place and so on, and took about 1,500 tablets of Tamiflu within 1 hour. That was completely unscientific, not required at all, but we never knew that time. And then of course I got back to work because of one swine flu death. Now it's we understand more about it, and it's all again due to pollution, air, unhygienic condition. People you have seen spitting, coughing, not bothered about any hygiene, no tissues held in front of them, all simple, no handkerchiefs at all, cough on the face. But of course, I keep telling all my patients who are coughing and turning, please don't do that. I am a chest physician. Half of Bangalore has coughed on my face. Please, you also entitled to cough nicely, cough on my face. Then I will know what problem that you have, how you are suffering, how you are suffering. Honestly, this is not a joke, because a chest physician cannot say that, you cough that side, you turn this side, wear mask, do all this. They have cough, it's irresistible, uncontrollable, they will cough. And then they cough on me, cough on my face, I don't care about it, because that's my job. Anyway, so that spreads by that, so we have to take precautions about it. This is the influenza A, H1N1, and Karnataka, underreported, all these everywhere, deaths, and in fact, maybe 17 deaths happened under my care, and those who go on to ventilator and so on, but it's not properly ventilated. So signs and symptoms are told like any other flu, generally self-limiting. Those who have immunodeficiency due to age, pregnancy, and those who are on cancer, chemotherapy, heart failure, pulmonary disease, may develop on dialysis and so on, may develop all these complications. And fortunately now, well, treated by medications which are there, which will prevent, flu. Flu prevention tips are all this: keep sanitizer close, don't touch your, face, and all kinds of things. Stay at home when you have a flu to prevent, spreading of this flu. Flu season is generally from November, December, and you can protect yourself and others by simple measures which are all known to you. And also the flu vaccine which is available the triple vaccine which covers influenza A, influenza B and H1N1, is very effective. Also we are going to have a quadruple vaccine which will also cover other infections, and especially for those who have chronic ailments and diseases and elderly can use. I've been taking flu vaccine for the last 25 years, from England days. Tuberculosis is such a common, infection that all of us, see, and many a time it is stigma, still a stigma. I say it's a bacteria, it doesn't know who you are, it doesn't know Dr. Satish, it doesn't know Professor Ramrao, it doesn't know Mysore Maharajah, it doesn't know Salman Khan, it doesn't, the bacteria doesn't know who you are. So, it is a bacterial infection. Many of them probably relate to 1940s and 50s poor hygienic condition. Those who are in the slums and malnourished, get tuberculosis. I see all the time the IT to doctors to everyone, tuberculosis. What is worrying about tuberculosis is that it is something which is curable with proper, adherence and treatment, completion of treatment of 6 months to 9 months, which we counsel regularly. Very few patients, of mine, have stopped treatment. Very few. That's because of intense counseling, spending time. Every minute that I spend with these patients, because it's not 3 days, 5 days, 1 week, 10 days, it's 6 months to 9 months of regularly taking and coming for follow-up. That's why it's important to counsel all these patients. Any cough for more than 2 weeks, fever, weight loss, night sweats, are all indicative of tuberculosis. And transmission again by hygiene, so one has to be careful not to cough anywhere and then keep an hanky and so on. This is how we can prevent tuberculosis. And what is worrying is this one, the drug-resistant tuberculosis. That is because of illogical use, unscientific use, improper dosage use, not completing the treatment. And earlier, all TB patients used to be housed in TB sanatoriums and good sunlight, and medicines were given and they all got better because they were all housed. Now, there is no such TB sanatorium, even though it is there, we cannot keep all this. Total, 1/3 of world's TB population is in India. 1/3 of 1.5 million people are infected every year from tuberculosis infection. So, this is the problem because they don't respond to the treatment. We see these kind of patients, 18 months to 24 months of very toxic medicines, 6 to 7 drugs that they have to take, and this, even then there is no guarantee. We also have, apart from drug-resistant TB, we have multi-drug resistant TB, XDR TB, and TDR TB reported from Mumbai, which means total drug-resistant, no medicine, 100% they die. These patients who are affected. This is a man-made calamity. This is not due to the bacteria. Bacteria and viruses are always waiting for us to make mistakes. Their intent is to multiply and survive. And we are giving them a chance to do that by, improperly taking medicine. Overweight, obesity, how does it matter for respiratory physician? Very much. I see all the time in my outpatients, patients who are obese, do not exercise, and then they have what is known as, this is about obesity, and this is what I see. Early morning, not being fresh, snoring at night, and the wife will tell you, no, I can't sleep, so I'm sleeping in that room for the last, many years. So I keep telling them jokingly that somehow I want to bring you together back into your bedroom. It's because so much, like a train, if you hear anybody snoring so much, it is a marker of an obstruction because of the airways get collapsed during sleep and cause vibration across a blocked airways. And when this causes, there is an increase in heart rate, increase in various chemicals which are released because there is what is known as apnea. Apnea means stopping breathing. If you see someone, you will not forget, suddenly it becomes quiet. That is stopping your breathing. Then it is low. Then again it picks up because the nature tends to improve that. And loud snoring noise and choking at night. Many people whom you've heard saying, oh, he died in the sleep. He was so lucky. He died because of sleep apnea. And then, not because of anything. He died. And many a time you have heard people saying, oh, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಖಪುರುಷನಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So which is the disease. When my patient keeps saying, sir, the conductor was giving me a ticket and I slept off, he woke me up standing. And many of them have told me stories like, sir, shave madakagala, sir, shave ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿದ್ದೆ. So irresistible sleep. And I'm sure all of you have seen our parliamentarians. So many a time somebody asked me, sir, I want to get one, I don't want to name, sleep study for this patient. I spontaneously said, why do you want sleep study? Ask Udaya TV, they will give you video of this, what happened in the parliament. So you see that and then sleep study, you have to sleeping. So irresistible sleep, which can cause not just the sleep disorder, it can cause death, irregular heartbeats, heart attacks, high blood pressure requiring a lot of medicine. That is obstructive sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea, which can cause all this problem and leads to very severe kind of problems. All these stroke, hypertension, stress, congestive heart failure, sudden death, mood disturbance, depression, sexual dysfunction, diabetes, all these occur due to obstructive sleep apnea, which is purely due to obesity, lack of exercise, and bad, diet and nutrition. Very common. I keep seeing that, and it can be beautifully treated, but it is something which is preventable, which all of us can, exercise and take care of our nutrition. It can be, done. Of course, we added to this is the bariatric surgery that we have to reduce, morbidly obese, condition. This is the statistics said that 33% of those in Chennai did not do or never intend to do anything to control their increasing weight, followed by 20% in Bangalore and 17% in Kochi and 15% in Hyderabad. What I mean to say in all this talk is, if you see, they are all very simple diseases, treatable, curable, preventable, and all due to man-made kind of disaster. And all of us have a role in playing this, in getting all this, and all of us have to play a role in the future to prevent all this pollution, for example, smoking in young people, passive smoking, and hookah, and the lakes which are drying up, the trees that are disappearing, the parks that have disappeared, and have been left with concrete jungle. Bangalore, as I said before, garden city, the pensioners' paradise, the Silicon Valley. Okay, let it be called Silicon Valley. No problem at all. Sir Ram Rao very proudly said that if you go to Silicon Valley of America and everyone who is doing very well is from National College. How proudly he was saying that. How nice. But we are also facing all this problem today, and many a time we don't care because it's not affecting me. I have no sleep apnea. I have no asthma. I have no allergic rhinitis. I have no lung cancer. I have no allergic rhinitis. This is what we are saying. But when it comes to our children, our future, imagine, that's what I tell all asthmatics, imagine what's going to happen to Bangalore in 10 years from now. And you will be only 35. 25 years, in another 10 years, only 35. Imagine pollution, and you saw the effects of pollution. If we don't do anything, if policy makers don't do anything, if bureaucrats don't do anything, if public, like all of us, do not protest, and one day in a year or do, something like a walk and marathon and all that, it is no good. I do my job because I see it all the time, and I have an opportunity to do it. An opportunity to talk to people, ask them about smoking, tell them about the hygiene, tell them about, why it is important to prevent infection, why it is important for you to speak about planting trees, and parks which are drying up, all this. And I have an opportunity, but all of us, must do to prevent. Like how there is a kind of, momentum which is going on to link the river, to save the river. I'm sure you've seen on the WhatsApp such a good move. Otherwise, we will be all completely dry because no water, and completely breathless because there is no good quality of air that we are going to do. And thank you so much for your patient listening. You can see that. It was really a pleasure to come and meet you and hear from you all the history, and all of you who have come here. Thank you so much, and it was good. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Doctor has explored the harmful effect of air pollution. We are responsible for this. It has been very informative and educated also. On behalf of Bengalore Science Group and all of us here, I express sincere thank you, Dr. BSF. Tomorrow talk by Dr. Surat, Professor, International Center for Theoretical Science, will be speaking on black hole and quantum information. So all are already invited. Now session is open for free consultation.
Very happy.
Mic put
nearby to our houses, trees, a lot of fruit bats are staying, and whether they cause any
Fruits.
fruit bats.
Fruit bats are there. Their droppings can be, any bird droppings can cause, they become airborne, it can cause, a lot of allergies, like pigeons, for example, and parrots, for example, called bird fanciers, they can cause a lot of allergy. The bats can cause, these droppings can cause allergy. And they can also carry, especially those bats which are there in caves, can carry very serious kind of bacteria which can cause infection, not the ones which are in the city and in your place, but they can cause allergy. The droppings can cause allergy.
And the problem with the fruit bats is they put dropping throughout playing.
Yeah.
Anytime we play.
Yeah. These are some problems that that we face. Yes. Some of them are good. Like for example, see, the sparrows have disappeared. From Bangalore. All of us have, kids that said we have seen sparrows near our windows. Where are the sparrows? There are no sparrows at all. They're all gone. Some of them are useful. I'm saying they are useful. The sparrows, the crows, and all that they clean up the environment. Where are they? They don't, have. And bats, of course, can cause
Good.
Is there any role for salt chamber therapy for respiratory problems in Bangalore?
Good question, sir. Good question. I'm sure you've seen a lot of advertisement about salt therapy. This was a kind of therapy which was derived by studies done in the salt caves. The workers who worked in those salt caves never developed any respiratory problem. And that is why the salt caves and the salt mines which were there, and especially in Europe and Mediterranean areas, they never suffered from any of these respiratory ailments. There was some kind of a protection that these patients have that was made use by the salt therapy which is there, which is of course a commercial thing now. Some people have benefited from it. I had yesterday one patient who said 18 sessions of salt therapy I've done, sir, and they promised me that they will cure. But look at me today. He had an acute asthma, his oxygen was low, and then he was very disappointed. I said, go back and show you must also continue medicine and then also do this treatment. Definitely it is not harmful. Definitely it is not harmful, but usefulness for longer run and a cure promised is doubtful.
Sir, some of these allergies are caused by this fine cement, AC, and seasoning. All these are causing a lot of coughing. is it risky for this respiratory problem later? And how to avoid this?
Yeah. Okay. Good question, because these are common questions that I face. For example, if you are talking about AC, because all these IT guys and all of us work in AC. See, that's why I'm always in food. Always, because in my chamber, my ICU, my wards are all AC. So AC is not bad unless they are taken care. The ducts are cleaned properly, maintained well. There is no problem. But AC itself, if you properly can cause pneumonia. Cause a very specific type of Legionella pneumonia is due to improper AC. I keep hearing, like, for example, I was traveling in train and then I came down with very fever till it was very cold and things like that. Patients tell us because of that. Of course, you're talking about the kitchen.
Normal, like this cars and all that AC.
Yeah.
We travel in that car.
Yes.
Naturally, we feel we are inhaling that fine dust.
Yeah. If you maintain a good air conditioner in your car or anywhere, that is fine. As you saw in the study in Mumbai, that showed AC cars 69%, the buses 502, the amount of particulate matter which was there. So I always tell people, raise your windows and drive, and don't open, especially near the traffic, and then close it. Many of them say, in India, we all relate to cold weather, cold temperature, ice cream, cold drink that causes problem. It's not true. For example, you go to Antarctica, Alaska, which is -10, -20, nobody coughs there. The air is pure, air is clean. And some of the allergens which patients come and say, in the kitchen and so on and so. Food allergies are completely different from airborne allergies. Food allergies are completely different. They cause hives, they cause urticaria, they can cause angioedema, and they can cause death. Last week I heard one of my patient's friend who was in Satish Road. He was bitten by the hives, and then he died in his bedroom near Satish. So they are severe form of allergy. So we can also desensitize them. So some of these are a problem.
Is this ultimately cause respiratory problem? This allergic cough is continuing.
Yes.
Will this cause respiratory problem?
Yes, it can cause. Yes, that's what allergic rhinitis, upper airway, lower airway, which is bronchitis, asthma. All of them cause this problem. The allergens which we are sensitive to, and pollutants, of course.
Okay. Sir, is COPD curable, or one has to keep on taking medicines and other procedures until death?
Yeah. Good question. COPD is an irreversible disease. And remember, COPD means smoking related lung problem, not asthma. Asthma is definitely treatable and it has a good response to treatment. They can be normal. COPD, no. And it's a crippling disease, goes on worsening, but there are now good medications are available. Also what we do known as the pulmonary rehab centers, where we make them learn exercise and get used to particular type of breathlessness, is all there. Their nutrition suffer, their heart suffer, they develop depression. Imagine you can't wear your shirt and you're breathless. Imagine, you can't shave. Imagine you can't go to the toilet without becoming breathlessness. So depressing, so it is not curable, sir. Treatable, but partially only.
I have a few questions.
Only one question, sir.
Let's just we are not outside. I was my case.
Before the question, of course, I would like to thank you for the excellent action.
Thank you.
You have really, made the people here in Bangalore aware of what pollution can do to Bangalore.
Thank you.
If I start with one question, particulate matter, COX or engineers normally talk about COX, SOx and NOx. That is carbon dioxide, oxide, carbon, sulfur, and nitrogen. And they also, automobile emission or factory emission, there are particulates also. But more than that, the other fine dust in Bangalore, I tell, is due to the stone dust. I think they say earlier for construction they were using sand from rivers. But they were bigger particles and they can they can easily be airborne. And so nowadays they are using fine dust. And in addition to cement, of course cement is dangerous. It's just as fine perhaps as cement. And even if a vehicle goes past by, it will throw up a lot of dust. And that is the main thing I think that to be legal. These are not classified aerosols. And those aerosols that will be legal in the air. My view, my comment, I'm an engineer.
I thought the speaker is saying go for it.
So what will stop us?
No, sir.
I think my experience, because I am an engineer.
Don't look to the side, look to the doctor.
Ask your question first.
Let me ask you the question. You mentioned about, see, India is number one country in pollution of 13 or something. Let me tell you, I think China is also quite come as the highest power for pollution. Even United States, because they have polluted for a lot of 250 years. And the pollution in Bangalore is because, of course, man-made. That is the one. And you also gave it temperature, climate change is not nothing to do with man-made. Climate change is not because of that. It is man-made in the sense Bangalore is very poorly designed, and it is its population. We are emitting so much energy.
Doctor has told you the meaning of yours.
Your points are well taken, all well meaningful, don't worry.
Yes. Please be specific.
Sir, COPD patients can they use air coolers instead of air conditioner?
Air conditioner, the problem is maintenance of these air coolers. You have to fill in, water and so on. But they are fine. Air conditioners are definitely better than others. The fans, usually they ask this question. Is fan okay? I am allergic to fan. It's not allergic to the fan. Fan cannot be cleaned every day. So when it rotates and circulates, there is a lot of dust which every home has, and that becomes airborne, and that causes this problem. So hardly any difference. Can you?
Sir, you make out the case for that indoor pollution is on the rise, particularly those who live near traffic heavy areas. So obviously there is a threshold beyond which it is harmful to us. So is there a case for using air purifiers inside every house, and if so, what is the threshold at which we think of using one?
Good question. As I said 10 years ago, I had no answer. Now I have an answer. As I said, the studies from Beijing and Delhi and other places have shown they have definitely some effects. Only we have to see about the cost. What is the cost? They are not 100% foolproof, but they can make an impact. They can, definitely do. In fact, in my clinic also I have outside, because lots of people come and sit there, to observe some of the, bacteria, viruses and all that, one can use. And they are useful, but we have to weigh with the cost that's involved in this. Good question.
Well, I travel about 50 kilometers on a two-wheeler daily up and down to work. Is there a good dust mask that you recommend?
Good question. First, let me congratulate you for your patience. 50 kilometers, by two-wheeler. Two-wheeler.
Yes, totally.
So I'm sure, you'll find a way now. Petrol is the best thing to do. Okay. Good question. Many ask me about this masks which are useful. They are not so useful. I tell all the two-wheelers, that buy a good helmet, not the one where you can open up and say, completely covering one full helmet, which covers everything, and it should be uncomfortable for you. Generally it works. People say, open, take it out, keep it where when there is a police they use it. I say the number of head injury patients that we see in Bangalore because of the number of two-wheelers that we have is alarmingly going up. And that's why also the pillion rider also is supposed to wear a helmet. So wear a helmet which is tight, which is uncomfortable for you when you get up. That is the one which will protect you. Don't use the mask. Many times jokingly I tell them, don't wear this mask and move around. People think either you have H1N1 or you have kidney transplant done. And do it and show your beautiful faces and all this, don't cover them with this. Yes, can be useful if there is some problem inside the house, somebody has an infection, then you wear what is known as N95 mask. Not the mask that you see, that the mask that people use in Delhi. Not very useful at all, scientifically.
Doctor, I saw a cockroach in your PPT.
Yes.
Cockroach.
Yeah.
What problems can cockroaches cause?
Don't remind any ladies here about the cockroaches. They will not get sleep. Even I won't get looking at the cockroaches can cause. One is allergic. 20% of the Bangaloreans are allergic to cockroach dropping. See, when a cockroach moves, you find some of the legs being dropped off, the feathers being dropped off. They are allergic. They can cause severe allergy. They can also carry some bacteria and cause infections. Infections like gastroenteritis can be, or sometimes airborne infections, bronchitis, all that cockroaches can cause. And as you know, cockroaches survive in extremes of calamities in the world. Even in our case, they survive. The cockroaches.
Excuse me, doctor has given almost answers in his lecture. Don't worry about it. Allow the last question. Then doctor will be here. As we can ask so many questions. This will be the last question.
Those who are suffering from obstructive sleep apnea, for that, what precautionary measures should we take?
Very good question. Most of these are preventive diseases. One is the lifestyle. They should reduce their weight, no doubt about it. Weight reduction dramatically improves the quality of sleep. People sleep from 10 to 6 in the morning, 8 hours of sleep, but that's not a good quality of sleep, those who have sleep apnea. And the other thing, till they reduce weight, they can turn and sleep on one side, that's called sleep hygiene, sleep on one side. Earlier we used to have a tennis ball suit to the back so that they don't turn, and we now say, put pillows and they can sleep on this side, and then this becomes, easy to breathe. That is one, mainly reduction of weight. And then some of these sleep hygiene and exercise. And this will help obstructive sleep apnea. Weight reduction makes dramatic improvement for them. Even 5 kgs, 10 kgs. These are people who are morbidly obese. Weight reduction makes a tremendous difference to them.
Pranayama exercises or yoga, that will also...
Good question. There are particular asanas for sleep apnea. Okay. So that's important. One of our politician was doing all kinds of wrong, this one. So I said this, I'll send someone who has specific asanas for this. It's not pranayama that they require. Pranayama is good for everyone, but there are specific asanas. If you, it's like taking a wrong medicine for a headache, so you will not get better. So similarly, our Vivekananda Institute, they have particular asanas, which is to strengthen the muscles and make them. But ultimately, remember, weight reduction. Weight reduction.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Those located